Kyle Juszczyk. So it came out that they offered an extension or offered a contract reduction to Eric Armstead, that he rejected it, and so they released him. Then it came out that the Niners approached Kyle Juszczyk about taking a pay cut, and we didn't get a single clarification on that the rest of the day. What do you think's going on here? Do you think that that Armstead was take it or leave it, and Juszczyk was not take it or leave it? Or do you think that Juszczyk is just being given 24 hours to think about it? Or what do you think's going on with Juszczyk? Do you think Juszczyk
is a business decision? I think with Armstead, probably him and his agent thought, okay, the Niners have given you whatever the offer is. This is the pay cut. This is the offer. Do we think you could get more than that in the open market? And I'm guessing Armstead and his agent think the answer, yes, they can get more on the open market. We'll see. With Juszczyk, it's more complicated. How many teams need a fullback? Every team needs a defensive tackle. How many teams need a fullback? How many teams would know what to do with Juszczyk, would value him, would see him as an offensive weapon and not just a guy that would play a little bit like 2 or 3 teams? So maybe he's thinking, I might need to take this pay cut. On the other hand, he should really text Mike McDaniel and say, would you guys be interested? Because Florida's a tax-free state. And if the Dolphins can just match what the Niners are offering, from Juszczyk's perspective, I might want to go to Miami and play for McDaniel. It's the same offense. I think he even said once that Mike McDaniel is the most creative coach I think he said that. Anyway, if I were him, I'd go to Miami. It's really nice down there. Although they're saying you can't do spring break there anymore. Maybe that's cool. He's 33.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then what about his new burgeoning business with his wife? I mean, isn't that changing his economic situation a little bit? I mean,
are the Niners using that against him in negotiations? Like, look, you don't need the money. Like, she's making the money. Now, come on. Help us out.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty funny.
That'd be absolutely
They've given him $35 million to go in motion and touch the ball once a game for 7 years. I mean, it's reasonable to ask him to take a pay cut.
My God. I mean, this guy, I mean, and nothing against him. I don't have anything against him, but I mean, he's made a ton of cash to do kind of a specialist role. They go to a lot of 3 wides, 1 back. They just take him off the field. I mean, it's just I don't know. I don't know what to expect out of him, or what, I don't even know how to properly compensate him, because he doesn't play like a regular football player. He's not really a starter. He's kind of a complementary player on offense.
I mean, I think he used to be really good. I used to argue that the Niners didn't use him nearly enough, that he was a guy who should be getting 50, 60, 70 touches a season, but he's 33 now. He's not even the blocker he used to be. There's no world in which the Niners should be paying him $7.5 million. That doesn't help them. He should be making 2, maybe 3.
Last one, Rayshawn Jenkins. What do you make of this one? Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network reported the former Jag safety Rayshawn Jenkins visiting Seattle today, visiting the Niners later in the week. He just turned 30. I've always liked this player because he's a real hitter. Is this their way of saying that Hufanga's not going to be ready for a while? Because they got Jair Brown, they got George Odom. Aren't they going to let Gibson walk in free agency? So is this the Gibson replacement, maybe?
Possible. And maybe they're thinking they need to have a guy who can start if Hufanga doesn't make a speedy recovery. I guess you can't just assume that that's going to happen. I also wonder if they're going to trade Hufanga. He's up for an extension. Are they going to give him an extension? Are they going to make him play out his contract? Like, what's happening there? No one's talking about that. Everyone's focused on Brandon Ayuk because he's eligible for an extension too. But what about the all-pro safety coming off a torn ACL? What are they going to do there?
Wow, that would shake things up if they. And I know D'Amico loves Hufanga. Yeah. I mean, loves him. I mean, he would probably want him badly.
Do Hufanga and Brown complement each other, or do they play the same position? I don't know the answer to that.
I think that, okay, so Brown can play in the box or downfield. He's got a nose to intercept the ball. Hufanga is much better in the box than downfield, but he's not fast, but he does break on the ball really well. But I think both of them are strong safeties. I think you've got two strong safeties, no free safety. And if you're really looking for something in this draft, it's probably that corner / free safety who can cover the deep third in a cover 3.
I think they drafted Brown because they were concerned that Talanoa Hufanga would have another all-pro season and price himself out of town. That didn't happen. The opposite happened. He got hurt. So I don't know what the Niners are going to do. Jenkins is a starter, so I don't see how they work that out. I hope they keep Talanoa Hufanga. I think he's a really good player and a playmaker. And if they send him to Houston, I think Houston's getting a good player.
Hufanga's really good at timing that run blitz and really good at attacking the mesh point. But, man, if you make him play coverage, you can see he's a step slow. And Brown, I think, is a big-time thumper, almost like a linebacker in the box. But if you make him play coverage, I think he takes chances. I think they're both better closer to the line. So I'm not sure if it's a fit, and I'm not sure Rayshawn Jenkins is the answer either, to be honest. But they could definitely use a coverage player. I mean, if this were Legion of Boom Seattle, they've got 2 Chancellors and no Earl Thomas. They need that Earl Thomas player.
Yeah. And so when they look at a guy like Rayshawn Jenkins, who's a free safety, and it reminds me that they're losing to Sean Gibson, who's a free safety, and maybe they don't look at either one of those guys as Gibson's replacement, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark's the boss 3 member for 30 months. I always give the members a little clap.
30 months.
That's a good amount of time. All right, man. What do you got cooking on the channel the rest of the night? Are you done for the night? Are you done? Do you got more cooking? I know you're always going. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, man. Would you say you stream less today than you did a year ago at this time, or more?
I think I'm putting up fewer clips. I think I'm streaming the same amount, putting up fewer clips, but I'm putting up more articles on si.com/NFL/49ers. I was putting up like 1 or 2 a day. Now I'm putting up 5 a day because, why not? I've got to maximize all of my work opportunities. So I'm just trying to balance it out. But I admire how hard you're working, Larry. I see what you're doing, and it's just incredible. You're doing a great job, and I admire people that go all in with this YouTube thing, because why the hell not? It seemed like a good idea.
Seriously, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a ton of fun.